And spawning in the upper left-hand position as, are you using player colors or just whatever colors they want?
Player colors.
Alrighty,
Or
as the red
or light blue. He's light blue,
or
that's what I
light
meant.
blue. Okay, as the light blue Protoss player, it is Slayer's Arthur.
And his opponent in the lower right corner of the map, the always pink, the always Terran Major. And I mean, it's cool. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is where you get these sort of matchups. Where else are you going to see a best of one Arthur Major ridiculous fight? We'll see what happens. I'm actually quite excited about this.
Yeah, and I have to admit that I'm really expecting some kind of major cheese coming out of Major, just because, once again, he commented to me, like when he was looking to talk to one of the admins, that he has like a playhem that he's looking at playing a bit of, which means that he wants to just like power through this probably as fast as he can and get it as far in as he can, so he knows kind of what he needs to be working on.
Yeah, and I guess Arthur just scouting around going to the wrong place. It is cross positions, or at least it just happened to be this time. Major, by the way, I just want to point out, he's the one who's inspired a lot of the Hellion builds coming out of myself and Panda recently on the ladder. Panda obviously being high-level masters, myself being only a high diamond. Nothing quite the same, but seeing things like the early Hellion drops, Marine Hellion pushes, actually Happy did a version recently that we've both been trying to copy. But Major's definitely the one who kind of starts trademarking these types of builds. So I'm really
I believe
excited.
it's actually it was like Bomber that I saw last night going for just kind of like Hellion and Banshee, almost as though it was a Terran versus Zerg. But because of his control and just running around, it was like terrifying. He got like 35 worker kills by the 11-minute mark or so against a Protoss player, and so that can absolutely work and do some serious damage.
I like this supply depot block too. This keeps Arthur from getting any scouting information. He has no idea that there's no gas. He has no idea what's coming his way.
Yeah, though, if he's watching the timing of the supply depot, he knows one of two things. If you do get a gas and build that supply depot in time to do the wall off, it means that you delayed a worker by a couple seconds, and so it's quite likely that this is a gasless just because you can afford the additional supply depot very easily if you did go for the gasless.
Oh, and Sneaky Probe will get scouted here by the Marine. Cheekiness coming to an end. No hidden pylons or any such shenanigans.
Yeah, and just now this one SCV trying to continue to scout around and just taking a super fast look at Major's vision. He still has not done any scouting whatsoever, just taking this expand kind of on Fiat. Also, his opponent does have that second gas built, but not mining from.
Yeah, and the expansion going down. I do want to point out, I find it funny that both players did go to the vertical spawns first. Both going to the wrong location, but that's not really relevant, but it's still funny to see when it happens. Warp gate on the way here.
Yeah, the one Marine just moving out to take control of that central Zelnaga watchtower as only just now the first Stalker being, well, not quite warped in, just constructed the hard way out of the gateway with a quick chrono boost to make sure that gets out as fast as possible.
Yeah, Major poking in, seeing what he needs to see. Finds the expansion, will most likely just go home. Meanwhile, back at his base, we do have two more barracks on the way. And finally, that double gas being thrown down.
Yep, saturating them immediately, and watching what gets added on next will dictate a lot of what his playstyle is going to be. Lifting off the slightly mispositioned orbital command, I was wondering if he was going to see that. But if he decides to throw down a bunch of add-ons, he can go for some very quick upgrades, grab Combat Shield. In fact, he's already snagging one Tech Lab, which could be used for very, very fast stim as well. What if he also wants to go for the very fast factory, he could get those medevacs out and decide to use the healing instead of a timing attack. This kind of group of Marines in the middle, though, is getting pretty noticeable with the 5 of them just standing there. If that gets constantly reinforced, it might be a fairly noticeable poke.
But he's gonna be careful because Arthur could be looking to do a huge warp push. Gonna put some sneaky pylons down. We have seen a lot of high ground abuse, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was actually taken out of the beta recently. So there are some Marines at home. Major scouting around, knows the typical proxy locations, I guess. Sees nothing, comes back very happy. And,
yeah, and
4 more gateways on the way here for Arthur.
Yeah,
the
this
wrong
looks like
names.
a major timing attack that is going to be coming in quite soon. He's going to have, well, with just the 2 gas, he's only going to have kind of some gas. In fact, he still hasn't mined anything from that one almost fake out assimilator. I guess that he was counting on that being scouted. I don't know if it actually was though. And so it means all that he's going to have is these 2 sentries with a third one just now joining it for energy. I mean, he's not going to be able to do a lot of force fielding around the bunker.
Yeah, Major throwing that bunker down to the high ground will keep him in a really nice position, but fortunately he has sniped off the 2 forward probes previous to this, so there's no pylons already down. He's bought himself a little bit of time, and we've got Arthur trying to place down, I guess, come around the map on one side, pylons on the other, and hopefully, I guess, gonna try and catch Major off guard here. But now,
yeah, all of these Marines in the middle of the map are really out of position too. They're not going to be able to do really all that much for quite some time as this attack moves in. They are able to be constantly chasing away stalkers though, keeping it clear. I don't know though, I mean, this attack is starting to get quite scary with already a almost 10 supply lead and kind of the general buffness of Protoss units. Large number of zealots ready to go, and all of these Marines are not in the bunker.
yeah, the longer that Major can keep this bunker alive, the better it'll be, but there he is, pushing up the ramp now. Oh, gotta deal with the zealots. SCV's trying to come in, but there are the force fields. And oh, just barely connecting that bunker in time, but no, force fielded away from it. Has no way to maintain that, now using the SCVs to tank for the Marines. And Marauders coming from behind should be able to push this back.
Yeah, this attack is in quite a bit of trouble. Those Marines from the middle moving in, and actually on move command not doing all that much. This additional warp in of Zealots are getting a lot of worker kills, even though this attack is very unlikely to kill him. It has done quite a bit of economic damage, however, with the finished stim now, that is pretty scary. If there's a big counterattack that comes out from Major, it could also do a lot of damage in turn. Let's just take a quick look at the army supply tab. It's 26-4.
Yeah, Major really behind now in economy, but I mean, you've got Mules. He doesn't have a 3rd command center up yet, unfortunately, but he has taken those rocks down, so he may just push for that 3rd base or dedicate to a full army counterattack. With Medevacs on the way, he can afford to start using stims, and we'll see what he chooses to do with it.
Yeah, this medevac, also combat shield, is just about to finish up. Only 10 seconds left on that, with it about 40 seconds remaining on infantry weapons level 1, which means that this would be a terrifying timing for a counterattack. As right now, Arthur's trying to transition out of this, but he's really investing in tech rather than army, and that could punish him hugely as this is, of course, moving through the middle of the map.
Yeah, the robo facility is nowhere near being completed, or sorry, being able to pump units out just yet.
Ooh, unfortunately, no concussor shells is going to let this stalker get away.
Oh
however.
No! Stim making it just a little too fast. And Marauders are, of course, very strong, very deadly against stalkers.
Yeah, and right now the emergency warp in of Zealots, but I mean, there's just not that much here, really. He's counting 100% on these Zealots, even retreating up the ramp a bit. He knows that
with no sentries, it's going to be hard to split this army. This expansion is forfeit, is what it is. Trying to bring the probes here, kind of both players using the worker civil union to defend. But Arthur just really does not have the forces to deal with this.
And that's it. GG.